All right, this is Deanna Marie, and welcome back here to the Clusie. And today we're going to be talking about endurance. Okay, so let's get started. All right, today's Bible reference is going to be Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. So you guys know how I am. I always say the same thing every day. Open up those Bibles, get in the Word, let God speak to you what He wants to speak to you about. Pray and open up the lines of communication. Okay, that being said, this Bible verse is speaking about endurance, okay? I want you to think about this. Every person in the Bible that God used for something, they always went through something in order to get to that blessing. You can look at Joseph. Joseph had to be sold as a slave. Then he worked his way through Potiphar's house, got lied on, and he eventually becomes like vice president of Egypt, okay? David had to have Saul chase him, seek his life day after day until Saul's death, until he became king. Abraham and Sarah, they went through it. They couldn't have kids together. That was their one desire. They wanted to have a child together, and it took them many years to get to that place. Mary, the mother of Jesus, had to watch him, be crucified before she saw him in all his glory later on. Okay? So each person that God uses in the Bible, they have to be built for endurance. Do you know why? Because if they aren't built for endurance, then they eventually walk away from God. They turn to evil. They turn to selfish ways. They do not continue following Him all the way through. So what does that mean for you? If you are going through something, I know life's not easy. It's actually very difficult sometimes. It's not a walk in the park. Normally, sometimes when people think like, oh, I'm going to follow God, and they think life's going to be easy, it's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But there's a reward, and there's a crown that takes place at the end of it. The blessing, the more you go through, the bigger the blessing is normally on the other side, because there's a reason that God's allowing this stuff to go on. So for some of you guys, maybe it's like relentless bullying and, people treating you a certain way. It's a humbling that needs to take place, because when He makes you into what you're supposed to be, the king or queen that you will eventually be, whatever that means for you, the wife that you're supposed to be, the boss, the CEO, whatever it is, you have to walk in humility. You have to. There's education and there's wisdom in humble beginnings. And so don't get mad and frustrated. And I know that sometimes it's very easy to look at everything and blame God and say, well, I'm going through this because you are allowing it. And you see the little picture, right? Remember I told you that. You're looking at it from one person's point of view, yours in that moment. He's not. He sees who you've become, who you've already become. He sees everything that's here on the other side, but He knows that you have to go through that in order to get to that. And there's no way around it. If you want to get to that marriage, then you have to learn patience. How do you learn patience? You put up with a bunch of crap that you don't want to put up with. That's how you learn patience. So I want you to think about that when you're going through stuff, or people are like, life's not turning around for you like what you thought it would be, or maybe you're going through a difficult time right now and you're like, oh, the year just began, it's this again, and you're thinking stuff like that. There's wisdom in what you're going through, and God's doing something in you. And I promise, the more nonsense that's being heaped on you, the bigger the blessing. So you put your eyes on that, and you put your eyes on God and Him walking you through it, and you understand that this is not an easy walk. That's why there's not a whole bunch of people that are following it, because it's not easy to do it. It's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. If God said, hey, come to me, follow me, and you get billions of dollars, how many people would go? Everybody. when God says, hey, pick up your cross, you're going to walk with me like this, not a lot of people are going to do that. But the ones that really, really love him, the ones that, and it doesn't say, you don't get mad at God or you don't ask questions. It doesn't say any of that. It just says in the end, who do you say he is? Do you love him? Do you love him in the end? Do you still choose to follow him even though bad things happen? It doesn't matter. Peter denied him to his face 3 times. Denied him. God saw it. God's everywhere. He saw that Peter was going to do that. He saw it. Okay? So you think about that. Yet Peter humbled himself and asked for forgiveness, and he still walked with God. So you think about that, because this life is about endurance. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the blessing that's coming on the other side. Okay? Have hope. Have a little faith. All right? So anyways, like, share, subscribe, and comment as always, and I will see you guys back here next time.